Hello there. Welcome to the next video on the Demon360 channel. I am the Demon360, and today we're doing the video I promised not too long ago, the top 10 moments in the Skywalker Saga for myself. These are my top 10 favorite moments in the 9 Skywalker Saga films, meaning prequel trilogy, original trilogy, sequel trilogy. No Clone Wars, no Rebels, no Solo, no Rogue One. And no Legends. Just the films, all 9 of them. My top 10 favorite scenes in those films. Again, this is all my opinion. Please, this video is for the mentally sane people who aren't gonna blow up if I say anything perfectly right or perfectly wrong, and if I say something I have bad taste, and I'm a racist, sexist, feminist, whatever the hell I am. So yeah, if you're not mentally sane or mentally capable, please don't watch this video, or you can watch this video and just not comment. But, anyway, let's get on with it. Alright, so starting at number 10 is unfortunately my only sequel trilogy thing. And this is going to be Finn when he battles Kylo Ren in Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Not Rey's battle with Kylo, specifically Finn and Kylo's brief duel on Starkiller Base. Now, I mentioned this before in my, my ranking of the lightsaber duels in the movies, tier list. But, for me, this is my favorite duel in the sequel trilogy, and it's my favorite moment in the sequel trilogy. It's when Finn finishes his character arc, he stops running, picks up the lightsaber, and goes to fight. Again, they did nothing with his character arc, which sucks. But in that film alone, put the other 2 films aside, focus on that one film, that was the perfect conclusion to Finn's character arc. It was perfect for that film. For the character they had set up. And I like the character of Finn that they set up in Force Awakens. So, for me, I just really enjoy this battle because a lot of people argue like Finn shouldn't have kept up with Kylo. If you're gonna say that, remember, Kyle Katarn basically put his sword training to a lightsaber and took on Inquisitor Jarek, who is way stronger than Kylo Ren, and I will fight you on that. Every time. And Finn, we know, has sword training in the books and stuff. He does have, sword training. So, I'm just going to assume he did the same thing Kyle Katarn did. And now we know he's Force sensitive, and yeah, Katarn had a little bit of Force training, but still, that's why Finn wasn't very refined. I also see Kylo as not just Force ragdolling him, as he was using Finn to just get his rage out at killing his dad. He just wanted to beat the hell out of someone. He was just so mad. Excuse me. And that was, why he just didn't Force ragdoll him. And then Finn got up and Kylo was just like, alright, I'm gonna toy with you. I like seeing the function of Kylo's lightsaber and how you could use it when he stabs into his shoulder. Then Finn actually gets a hit on him and Kylo's toying with him. And then Finn hits him across the shoulder. And then Kylo tries and he wins. So, for me, this brief battle carries a lot more impact than a lot of people think. And I'm considering making a video specifically on this lightsaber battle. Because I think it is the most underrated lightsaber battle in all of Star Wars. Or at least in the films. Because for me, it carries so much weight and emotion for that one film. Not for the other 6 films, but just specifically for that film itself. And for me, I really enjoyed that. I liked seeing that weight and emotion in those clashes. And again, this is unfortunately my only sequel trilogy thing. But if you're going to say that I was just doing it to bash on the sequels, if I was doing it to bash on the sequels, this wouldn't be number 10. It wouldn't have even been on the list. This is just my opinion. Okay? But anyway, I'm sorry. But anyway, let's just move on. Like this battle, number 10 of top 10 moments in the Skywalker Saga. Well done. Alright, moving on to number 9. We have Anakin's mother's death, or Shmi Skywalker's death, and Anakin's massacre of the Sand People in Attack of the Clones. Now, this is a shorter scene, and again, it's from another not-so-great film, but it's a very strong scene, for me at least. This scene was Anakin's first true step into the dark side. Like, he's had little hints of emotion and anger every now and again, but this was like his first real turn to the dark side. Like, that was the first time the dark side completely took over. And in the books, it is explained that Dooku hired the Tuskens to kill her. But even if you discount that, it might even give us a reason to why Vader stayed away from Tatooine, is he just didn't want to go back there and suffer the memories of his mother's death. So that's very possible. And I just enjoy seeing Anakin just trying to save his mother, and then that look of just darkness and rage on his face when he fails, and he goes out and cuts the Raiders. Qui-Gon is calling out to him. Yoda feels it. Again, I don't have as much to say about this, apart from I just love the level of darkness and the foreshadowing it gives. It earns a number 9 spot on my list. Alright, so at number 8, we have Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Count Dooku at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith. Now, for me, this fight scene, and I mentioned this in my lightsaber duel tier list, is that if you actually look at this fight, it's basically Revenge of the Sith in a nutshell. Like, think about it. You got Anakin and Obi-Wan, best of friends, fighting the evil in Count Dooku. Obi-Wan gets separated by evil. Palpatine separates Obi-Wan, sends him to fight Grievous, leaving Anakin to the temptations of Palpatine to embrace the dark side. Kill him now. And then Anakin finally embraces the dark side, becomes Darth Vader. So, yeah. And then you could even go a step further when they escape and Anakin goes to rescue him. His redemption in Return of the Jedi. But saving his friend, or in that case, his child, from death. Even though Palpatine doesn't want him to. Because, I don't know. But for me, this fight scene isn't on here just because it's a fight scene. It's because it carries the weight of the entire film. This duel foreshadows the entire movie. I don't know if that's what George Lucas was actually going for or not. But if he was, he is a cinematic genius for doing it. Of course, you've got choreography-wise, not the best duel. And overall, it's not the best duel. But it's a creatively genius fight. And that is why it's number 8 on this list. Alright, so number 7 is the Binary Sunset. This is a classic scene. They weren't getting by without putting this one, or I wasn't getting by without placing this on the list. So, you know, it's an iconic scene. Luke looking out into the sunset, like, hoping for the dream life he wants. It's perfect for the original trilogy, and even for Star Wars itself. And it's just a powerful scene of him wanting adventure and, like, looking out into the horizon beyond. You know, there's not really much to say about this fight, or not fight, this scene. So, anyway, that's my, that's Binary Sunset. Alrighty, at number 6, we have the Duel of Fates from The Phantom Menace. Now, this on its own is already a phenomenal lightsaber battle. But Dave Filoni's recent explanation of the Duel of Fates, which I mean, I had already come to that conclusion, but actually hearing it out loud made me like it even more. This is, like, whatever outcome happens in this duel, it changes the fate of the galaxy. If Obi-Wan dies and Qui-Gon trains Anakin, Qui-Gon dies and Obi-Wan trains Anakin, which is what happens. If Maul kills both of them and he trains Anakin, if Anakin dies in the fight, if all three of them survive, if all three of them die, it would change the fate of Star Wars as we know it. And that's why it's called the Duel of Fates. This is the duel that's going to change the fate of history. And, again, it's just a great duel. I like how Qui-Gon gets defeated because he gets tired out. I don't think we see enough of that in Star Wars, at least in the films. But yeah, Jedi do tire out in battles. But I like how Maul actually beats both of them, but then Obi-Wan demonstrates that there's only one true master of the high ground. Him. And he is the only true master of the high ground. And he cuts Maul in half. But, yeah. Anyway, it's a great, fight scene. It's emotionally impactful, and it's the Duel of Fates. How could I not put it in the top 10? Alright, number 5 is another classic scene. It's Yoda lifting the X-Wing on Dagobah. Now, if you know the expanded universe, you know that this scene is redundant compared to the level of power that Yoda has. Like, sure, he's lifting a little X-Wing, and then, like, the Clone Wars micro series, he's crashing dreadnoughts into each other. He's lifting entire armies of droids into spaceships. Like, he's a beast. But for the original trilogy, this scene is beautiful. Because as the audience, like, just watching, go back to when you were originally watching Star Wars, or the original trilogy for the first time, if you watched the original trilogy first. And you know, oh, the Force is, like, magical. You can do little mind tricks. You can lift a few little rocks and stuff. But it's like, this is, like, a full-on Jedi Master showing, like, this is, like, the full might of the Force. What you can do when you are, like, fully, like, connected with the Force. It's like, size really matters not. And again, that's a thing I like in Star Wars, is like, people are like, with Darth Maul and the hyperdrive, like, he shouldn't have ripped it out. Size matters not, guys. It matters not. You just gotta believe. And I like that, rather than it being, midichlorians and believing. I do think midichlorians are not necessarily necessary. Like, okay, I have another video I wanted to talk about, which is how I think midichlorians should be handled. I'll make that video one day. But for me, I don't think it should be blood related. I think it should just be like, the Force picks and chooses its heroes. It picks and chooses, like, who they see as destiny. So you can have two non-Force sensitive parents and have a Force sensitive child. It's not about the blood, and then sometimes some people are stronger with the Force, some people are not. But anyway. But again, it's just a beautiful scene. It's a very lovely scene. And it's in the top 5. How could it not be? Alright, number 4 is Order 66 from Revenge of the Sith. This scene is gut-wrenching. Gut-wrenching. Especially if you've seen the Clone Wars. But again, we're only going by the movies. This is the whole prequel trilogy. This is what it's led up to. Sidious's plan from the very beginning. And it's both amazing and tragic at the same time that the Jedi were so blind to this the whole time. They fought with these soldiers for 3 years, and watching them just turn on their Jedi and gun them down like nothing. And seeing Anakin, like, going to the dark side, like, he's doing all this for his pregnant wife, so he's saving his unborn child by slaughtering children, which is kind of weird, but, you know, seeing him go all the way to the dark side, seeing all the Jedi and their close relationships with the clones just get, like, flipped like that is, crazy. It's a powerful scene for the bad guys, because this isn't just the bad guys winning. This is the bad guys dominating. Straight up dominating this war. Like, everything that is led up to this. Like, and you can even say for the past thousands of years have led up to this. The last millennia has led to this moment. And in some ways, it's heartwarming to see the Sith finally, after a millennia, get the victory they deserve. And in others, it's tragic to see the Jedi becoming these idiots in a way, that they just fell for this. So, it's a very strong, heavy, emotional scene. It's very powerful. Very heartbreaking, very powerful at the same time. So, it had to make the top 5. Number 3, The Duel on Bespin in The Empire Strikes Back. This one was coming, no matter what. This fight scene is one of the most, if not the most iconic just thing in Star Wars. We've got Luke, who spent the whole movie training to become a Jedi, finally going up against Darth Vader. And it's great to see, like, that Luke is not ready to confront Vader. He's done all this training and stuff, but he's a mere initiate compared to the full power of Vader. And I like how Vader gets more intense as the fight goes on. Like, the first time, he's just kind of toying with him. Luke gets a little on him, so he pushes him a little further. And then uses the Force abilities and stuff. Then, he finally gets pissed off enough and pushes him as far as he can go. And then ends up cutting his hand off. Plus, you have the I Am Your Father scene, which is a very, very iconic Star Wars scene. Probably the most iconic Star Wars scene. The fear that Vader represents in this scene is kind of bone-chilling. Just him just standing there in the carbon freezing chamber. And I gotta say, the visuals of this fight scene are spectacular. Like, somehow, a film in 1980 has some of the greatest visuals in all of Star Wars, more so than a lot of the newer stuff. And yeah, the newer stuff does have great shots, but, like, that's one of the best shots in all of Star Wars, is Luke and Vader on the Bespin platform, and then their lightsabers ignite, and they're just kind of standing there. Is a great shot. The use of the Force abilities, I think, is cool, like, really cool, when he does, like, when Vader does a little yin, and then the box flies, and it's just great to see how far Luke still has to go before Return of the Jedi, when he can defeat Vader. Even though I do think Vader was impeded both by Sidious and by Love during the throne room fight scene. But still, phenomenal scene. Not even just because it's a fight scene, but just because of the fear and basically the emotions that run through this scene. A top 3 for sure. Number 2, Battle of the Heroes, or the Mustafar Duel. One of the best lightsaber battles in all of Star Wars, if not the best lightsaber battle in all of Star Wars. This is so tragic. So tragic. It's beautiful. Like, the lava scenery is perfect for this battle, because this is Vader just erupting with rage towards Kenobi. Kenobi is fighting against, like the dark side is after him. Like, if he does not, oh, sorry, that's a text message, sorry, but, if he does not beat Vader, then, like, the galaxy is going to turn into terror, and he does beat Vader, but he doesn't kill Vader, but it's still such a powerful scene. These brothers, we start the film with Anakin, like, willing to, like, sacrifice himself to save Obi-Wan and risk his own life, to now he's trying to kill him with every ounce of rage that is fueling him. Yes, the fight scene went a little too far in some places, with the swinging on the ropes like Tarzan, and jumping on the little droids, and balancing on the beam walks, but the real thing about this duel that makes it so great is the emotional value. Seeing this friendship be torn to shreds, but all because of one diabolical Senate who looks like a prune. He doesn't even look like a prune. He looks like a corpse with a testicle forehead. But, still, this is what the dark side can do. This is what the dark side can do to friends, to brothers. To see their clashing ideals turn into hatred for one another. Well, Kenobi didn't really hate Vader at that point. And then when Obi-Wan finally gets the high ground and he beats Vader, the emotion that comes pouring out of him is so gut-wrenching. Because, yeah, the prequels didn't really show their friendship to the best extent that the Clone Wars did. But just, now we know, like, how much Anakin really meant to Kenobi. You might not have gotten that in the prequels, but that's just Obi-Wan just saying that, like, to why that is. And then when Anakin starts burning and the horror that is in Kenobi's face, this whole immolation scene is just Ewan McGregor is the best actor in the prequels, the movie. Just the reaction he has to that. He doesn't want to kill his brother, but he hates seeing this. Just, it's so bone-chilling, so horrifying, so emotional, so, I can't even put it into words. It is so strong. But it's a beautiful scene, not beautiful scene, but it's a horrifying scene, but yet amazing. But what's the one thing better than a hero falling into tragedy? Number 1, the Death Star throne room in Return of the Jedi. Literally from the moment that Luke and Vader step into that throne room to the moment where Vader picks up the Emperor and throws him down the shaft is my number 1. What could be better than a hero falling into villainy? The villain being redeemed. For me, this is just such a powerful moment. Such a powerful moment. Because I think this is, for me, it's like, we see Palpatine, finally, like, Luke is facing his greatest test yet. He's going, you thought Vader was the master of the dark side. Think again. Now we got the Emperor, who's been trying to use Vader to turn Luke to the dark side. But now Luke is going up against the Emperor himself. And the fight scene between Luke and Vader, not the best choreography-wise, but, like, emotionally, it is a very powerful duel. And I love the score when Luke taps into the dark side and he beats Vader. Like, that is a strong, like, score. And I love Palpatine's reactions to everything that happens in the fight. Just laughing, cackling away. I like how Luke is trying to pull Vader to the light, and Vader's trying to pull him to the dark. And think about watching the original trilogy for the first time, without seeing the prequels, when Palpatine uses Force Lightning for the first time. That is such a crazy scene, because we think it's little telepathy and telekinesis. This is the strongest force power we've seen so far. Luke has no way of defending himself. He's gonna give his life so his dad can get redeemed. And seeing Vader's watching this happen, everything from the last 3 films and now the prequels are now crashing into him. Everything with him trying to save... Now this makes the prequels even stronger. As he says he'll become so powerful he'll stop people from dying. He does! He saves Luke and throws Palpatine down the shaft. And he was dead. I'm sorry. I just love that scene so much that when they brought Palpatine back in Rise of Skywalker, it pissed me off quite a bit. For what? For Rey to just pick up a second lightsaber and Palpatine to have amnesia and forget to stop shooting himself with lightning? Give me a break. As far as I'm concerned, that's Palpatine, not Palpatine. But, when Vader just throws the Emperor down the shaft, I don't like the special edition where he screams no. I just like when he does it silently in the original. But this is, in my opinion, the heart of Star Wars, is redemption. I know there's like friendship and family, but for me, the heart of what makes Star Wars is redemption. Seeing Vader's arc, where he goes from the height of the dark side to slowly turning to the light until he comes back, is so powerful. And seeing a son who wanted to know who his father was, only to learn that his father is the second most evil man in the galaxy, but still never giving up hope and deciding to redeem his father, is some of the most powerful stuff in cinema, just period. And my all-time favorite scene in the Skywalker Saga and Star Wars itself. Well, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed my top 10 scenes from the Skywalker Saga. Feel free to leave your top 10 moments in the comments below. If you have any disagreements, let's be reasonable. Let's be civilized about it, but you're still free to disagree or agree, whatever you want. So, as always, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you want. Don't feel obliged. And see you guys next time. Peace out.